Good morning, MCOC community. Slice 'em here coming at you. Just going to take a couple minutes here to talk about a couple things while I finish up putting some points up in the Punisher Arena, as well as going ahead and working on the my proving grounds just to get my signature stone. So, what's up, Sloth Kid? Good to see you back here, man. You were quick on the draw, so thanks for coming in. Guys, I'm going to make my one last plea, and I hope for the sake of the MCOC community, for all the players in general, that this message goes around and it resonates and people take a hold of it and they understand what I'm saying here. I've been watching the chat streams. I've been keeping up with people, and I'm watching some of these numbers people are putting up for Hyperion. And you know what? I don't care if I win or lose my bet. Because no matter what happens, there's no doubt in my mind, Hyperion is not a 6-7 million champion. Nobody should be having to put up 7 million points, 8 million points to feel safe to get Hyperion. What's up, East? How's it going, man? So the thing about it is no one should have to put those kind of points up. There's no reason for it. And here's the simple math behind my thought process. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand as time goes, cutoffs are going to rise. People are going to have more champions. It's going to be easier to put up big rounds, so on and so forth. But Voodoo was literally 2 weeks ago, a week ago, whatever it was. And he put up 5.9 million. All right, 5.9 million. And he's considered a god tier champion. So I did a little bit of research. I normally am not one to go look at other streams. I'm not one to go digging around because I like to come with my own opinion of the game. But here's what I did. I went to probably the most popular, let's just be real about it. I went to the most popular YouTuber when it comes to MCOC. I went to Seaton's channel. I look at his stuff and I go through and I find his spreadsheet of who he considers the best champs. And on his spreadsheet, God tier, God mode, however you like to call it, you got Scarlet Witch, Captain America World War II, Wolverine, and Doc Voodoo. Not in any particular order, but that's just kind of where it was. Here's the deal. Voodoo considered God mode. Hyperion was in the demigod section. He wasn't number 1, he wasn't number 2, wasn't number 3, 4, or 5. Champions such as Psylocke was ahead of him. Archangel was ahead of him. Iceman. You have Thor right below him. He was in the middle of the pack. Voodoo, not that long ago, went 5.9. We've got people putting up north of 7 million to make sure they get Hyperion. Guys, if that's the problem, if that's where people are going, let me explain. Before long, the arena is going to suck. And what I mean by that is the numbers are going to become quickly astronomical. The pool is going to continue to shrink, and it's going to be no fun. And I say no fun. It's going to be fun for the guys that win. Good for you guys. But how many people want to sink that much time into grinding for a champion that's not even considered God mode, God tier? To me, it just makes no sense. How, as a community, can we not come together and say, hey, you know what? This guy is a 5 million champion. And East, that sucks. And the thing is, you're always going to have a player or two that comes up short. It's going to happen. But the problem is, it's the freak-out mode that comes with it. Hey, Vinny, how's it going, bud? Kind of talking about the arena. And look, again, I've got bets riding on this. To me, Hyperion still nothing more than a 5 million champ. Win or lose, it doesn't matter to me. Here's what I know. There's no way he should be putting up where you should have to feel like you have to put up 6-7 million points to be safe. If we're doing this to ourselves, and that's what this is self-inflicted wounds. We're letting ourselves push ourselves back in fear and raising these numbers way higher than they ever should be. And I guess my plea, my worry, my concern, guys, pull it together. pull it together. Let's sit down and find a way to be more consistent with this rather than people going, oh man, I put up $8 million. I had to make sure I got my so-and-so. Look, I get it. Scarlet Witch comes to town. I can understand people going crazy. To many people, she's still considered one of the best in the game. You know, it just drives me bonkers to see people doing it, knowing the amount of time. Because here's the thing, time is money. Money is time. Every time that you're spending your time grinding on a champion that should be a lot less, you could be doing something different in the game. You could be doing something different just in general. Now, if you have that time on your hands and this is what you enjoy doing and you want to see what you can go for, have at it. I'm not keeping you from it. But it's worrisome because my worry is the pool will get smaller, which means less heroes are rewarded. I mean, cutoffs continue to get driven up, 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 to the point where even the higher average player, the guys that, yeah, they're not pro players, they don't have an amazing roster, but they got a lot of guys and they're able to grind the arena, they're going to say, the heck with it. I can't dedicate 3 days of my life to grind nonstop or burn through a ton of units. I mean, we are falling completely into Kabam's hands. Anthony, I don't disagree. And I don't want to say I'm undervaluing him, because I do see a lot of value in Hyperion. But I think if we all took the time to say, okay, looky here, where do you put him? Is he better than Voodoo? Is he better than so-and-so? I think we could all agree Voodoo is better than Hyperion. I mean, for your general everyday deal, Voodoo has more uses. There's no reason Hyperion should go higher than him. The only thing Hyperion is bringing to the table is 5.2 because he can rush to his special. And my concern is not just here. Hey, somebody asked me the other night, what does Iceman go for in September? If we're getting ready to put this kind of number up for Hyperion, what happens for Iceman? Now, mind you, cutoffs are going to continue to rise. There's no way around it. Cutoffs will always slowly rise. But they shouldn't be rising like this. This could be astronomical. And Anthony, you could blow my door away. We could see a 6.5, 7 million cutoff because people are going out of the way to put up ridiculous numbers to get this guy. He is better than Thor. His utility is much better than Thor. I still say Thor's a harder hitter. He puts out more pure damage. He's a better champion than Thor, though. Absolutely. He brings more to the table. He's got more versatility. But my point is not any of that. I'm not arguing where Hyperion stands. What I'm arguing is what we're doing to ourselves in the arenas. As a group of players, not as individuals, not as this, that, and others, but as a group of intelligent people. Because, let's be honest, most of the Marvel community are intelligent people. They can understand value. They can understand how to calculate things. But as a group of people, we're acting like idiots. And part of my language, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but we're acting like idiots. We're letting the fear of missing somebody cause us to spend money, burn units, and push cutoffs to areas that they should have no reason being there. It's just getting, in my mind, it's getting out of hand. And you know, here's the sad thing. I feel a lot of people aren't doing anything to help stop it. Instead of people saying, hey guys, look, here's where this guy should be valued at. He's a X point champion. We got people just continuing to drive the number up. I mean, I don't understand. I get it, and I get people's fear of missing the champion. That's always going to be there. But for every champion that you grind this number higher and higher because you're afraid of missing the current one, you're making the next champion of any value that much worse. We're doing it to ourselves. We're driving this fear train, and we are just ramming it right up our back ends. And before long, it's not going to be fun. Hell, I don't think it's fun grinding to 5 million, 6 million. And before long, to get the champion that you're looking for, you're going to be grinding to 8, 9 million to be safe. You're talking about basic champions having cutoffs equal to what we're seeing some featured champions now. It's just we're doing it to ourselves, and that's all I'm really touching on, I guess. Um, and I agree, it is competitive, but a large chunk of that, Vinny, comes from the fact that people aren't getting into the pool, and people aren't getting into the pool because they feel they have no chance. Um, they feel they have no chance of being able to get the champion. You know, this is where we need people talking and explaining to the newer players, guys, get in. Get in. Get some rewards. Even if you're getting shards. If you're just getting some sort of rewards, Bulldog, I think it's not so much a matter of who is better to makes it to the equation. I think it's kind of a point value. I mean, it's kind of like if you go to the store, you know, you're not going to go down the grocery aisle and say, oh, I'm going to take the generic brand, but I'd like to pay more for the generic brand than I would this name brand. You know, I want to pay less for the boring label. Yeah, it's the same stuff. I mean, that's essentially what we do when you go bargain shopping. I know that's a little bit different. And I agree, East. And I'm not saying I have any control, and I'm not saying that it's going to change anything. This is, again, just me making a plea to the MCOC community as a whole. Guys, let's pull our heads out of our rump and find a way to get together and be smart about this. And I'm not saying it necessarily means that we don't still grind to 4 or 5 million or so. But I'm saying we've got to find a way to get people in the pool, and then for the top guys to understand, hey, look, guys, here, this is about the ceiling. But the problem is when you have people running around yelling cutoffs that are just astronomical, and then people going around talking about putting up insane points. Look, I don't have a problem. You want to go put up 8 million? Go put up 8 million. But you're doing the community no favor at all when you run around screenshotting your 8 million points going, well, here's where I'm at. To give you a rough idea what I mean by that, in my alliance, some guys were talking. A guy posted a picture of his points that he has right now. All right? He's at like 8 million and something. Good for him. Hey, Hyperion lockdown. Done. He was done probably 1.5 million ago, if not more. Hyperion's on lock. You know what happened next? A guy posts his picture of 7.2 million, I think, and he goes, ooh, now I don't feel so safe. How do you not feel safe? 7.2 million. That's what I'm talking about. You know, but there's no limited resource, really, Bulldog, to a degree. I mean, if we can get people to get in the pool and we can control, and you can't control the cutoff, but if we can confine the cutoff, if we can say, guys, this is where people should be going for, if we can get together more so, and I guess maybe it's my plea to the bigger YouTube guys out there, guys, don't be afraid of somebody missing it. We're all responsible for our own amount of points that we put up. But when we keep running these numbers up and we keep talking about it, and you got people jumping in chats going, oh, man, no, I'm at 7 million day one. I'm going on up. Oh, I'm at 8 million. I'm still trucking. I'm pushing for 10. Hey, thanks, Ravi. I think that's the problem. And Bulldog, I don't disagree. And I think what maybe people are missing is I'm not saying you shouldn't grind hard. I'm just saying we're doing it to ourselves. No, James, you're not banned. Sorry, man. I see you. But, I mean, my whole point, I guess, is, and shoot me. You guys can not follow me. You can do whatever you want. It makes me no difference because all I'm trying to do is help the game. And to me, helping the game is helping find a way to keep these cutoffs more in line with realistic. Whether it's we get more people in the pool and push for that, whether we find a way for the community to come together and say, hey, look, man, this is about where this guy should be, and find a way to kind of come to a common ground on that. Look, you want to go higher than that? Go higher. Makes me no difference. All I'm asking is don't run around and blab it in every chat because all you're doing is causing fear. You're pushing people to go higher and higher. And if I run into a chat and say, "Oh, I'm at 10 million. Hope you guys are doing okay," people are going to go, "Shit, that guy put up 10 million. How high do I have to go? Maybe my 7 million isn't so safe." So now 7 million guy runs to 8. I was in a couple streams last night. I watch YouTubers talking about where they're at, and the guy YouTubing is like, "Yeah, put another mill on." Why? Why put another mill? Like, that's the part of me that just blows my mind is why? Why are we encouraging the higher cutoffs? I'm not saying that cutoffs aren't going to go up. Look, it's just pure math. It's pure time. They're going to go up. I'm not saying you should stop at 5 million, Bulldog. Look, you want to be safe? I think there's a difference between being safe and being ludicrous. That's never going to happen, Ravi, because Kabam has to be able to set it so that there's a little bit of a challenge to it. We're playing into Kabam's hand, I guess is my point. We're playing completely into it. And Bulldog, I see what you're saying. And believe me, I get it. And no matter what, there's going to be those people that fall just shy of the cutoff. But I guess my deal is if we can find a way to keep that cutoff under control. I'm not saying we're going to be able to nail it every time. But why anyone would be running around screaming at 6 million, 7 million cutoff or putting up 8, 9 million for Hyperion, to me seems over the top. And I think if we can all agree on anything, over the top for Hyperion is anything north of 6.5 million. I think look, I can be totally wrong. My plea is to just quit with over the hyping. And it's not just Hyperion, it's the arena in general. What happens to the next decent champion? What do we say you have to be at? It's just, I wish people could take and just understand that running these numbers up is doing no favors. And I get it. Run them up. Have at it. There's going to be people, no matter what, are going to run numbers up. But let them be the outliers. Let them be the one that are pushing these numbers. But if the community as a whole was to work on keeping it down and just discuss it ahead of time. Here, let me ask you this. How many people go online and look? How many people do you think go online and look towards YouTubers for a cutoff? Whether it's Seaton, whether it's the Grand Scheme, whether it's Rich, whether it's Brian, how many people do you think go in to these channels and start asking about cutoffs? Hell, I'm a no-name. I'm just some monkey sitting on a computer chatting it up, and I still have people come in and ask me for my opinion. I am no pro whatsoever. Haven't done it long enough to even be able to get in to tell you that I'm a pro, but I will have people ask me. This is what people do. People come into these chats and they ask. But okay, and Bulldog, I get your point, but my counterpoint is, at what point is enough? At what point is enough? I mean, when we're correct, there is no safe. There's never going to be a safe. Never. And I'm not arguing that. Correct. Anthony, I think you're kind of getting what I'm saying. I guess my point is, if everybody keeps running around talking about big numbers, the number continues to climb. All I'm saying is that the more we talk about a high number, the higher the number goes. And I guess let me put it this way. Had everybody started with Hyperion at 5 million, 5.2, 5.5 probably would have been safe. I think, and I believe that with my heart, and I say that because he is a good champion. He deserves to be right up there with Mordo and Voodoo. I don't think he should outscore Voodoo. He should probably outscore Mordo. But we've seen what happened to Mordo on the second round. He drastically dropped. It's one of those things where I guess I look at it and I go, had we started at 5 million, you know what? Maybe we see a little bit of an inflation to the 5.2, 5.3, 5.5. And you'll notice I always say I think he's an ex-champ. It's going to be somewhere around 5.2, 5.3. I think 5.5 is safe. Because there's always that little bump. There's that little bump of a couple people going up and beyond. But when people are starting out with him at 5'9", 6, 6'1", that number inflates as it goes. And sure, I get it that they're announcing. And look, at the end of the day, I feel that's more of a protection to the... But it doesn't have to be that way. That's my thing. It doesn't have to be. I just feel like a lot of our big YouTubers are playing into the hands of Kabam. They're running the number up. They're pushing these higher and higher, and a large chunk of it is because they're afraid of their cutoff being under the regular cutoff, people missing it and being upset. They just don't want their viewers to be upset. They're afraid of losing a subscriber. They're afraid of that. And I guess maybe that's because I'm nowhere near it. I don't get paid to YouTube. I don't have any paid subscriptions or anything like that. I don't have the super chat and all the cool stuff. Maybe I just don't see it yet. But here's what I say. They do it out of fear. The big YouTubers are doing it out of fear. Their numbers are going up out of fear. Thanks, Real Deal. Yeah, it's my kid's iPad, so you got to keep it simple. But, and there is no enough. If you really want a champ, you got to do as much as possible. Hey, I don't disagree, but at the end of the day, that's why cutoffs are going higher. To me, and this is just the way I am, to me, every champ has a cutoff. To me, every champ has a value, has a cutoff. It's a pretty clear cut. He's better than him. If he went for so many points, he should go for X. I mean, it's kind of a general algebra formula to me. So-and-so is this many, this character we don't know yet, but I value him here, so if this is a fraction of that, I mean, it's not hard. Welcome, Josh. Appreciate you coming in. And again, guys, I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I think if we were to just be more upfront with what real cutoff should be, I think you'd see more people in the pool, and that's the biggest thing. You know what? Maybe if nothing else, we do a better job of getting newer players and the newer accounts in the pool just in general, and explain what the pool can do for them. I mean, the crystals, being able to build things up, so on and so forth. I don't disagree, Bulldog. But with that being the case, my question, and here, if I just want to call it out exactly for what it is, Bulldog, let me put it this way. Go to Seaton's stream. Go pull his spreadsheet up. And explain to me this. And Anthony can disagree with me. All you guys can disagree, but I think you can understand simple logic on this one. And it's not a matter of my opinion. This is coming from Seaton, who by many is viewed as the guy inside the Marvel contest, inside this game. Go look at a spreadsheet. Number 1 champion, Scarlet Witch. God tier mode, Voodoo. Demigod, Hyperion. Demigod Hyperion's not even close to being the top. Number 1 on the Demigod scale was X23. Now, I don't have it here in front of me, but I can tell you, there's every bit of 9 champions, if not more, before Hyperion makes Seaton's list. So you've got the 4 champion in his God tier, you got Demigods, Hyperion's middle bottom. Okay? So now tell me, how can somebody who ranks Hyperion that far down on the demigod list to promote him to be in a higher cutoff than, or pushing the cutoff near what Voodoo was? To me, mathematically, it makes no sense. And I guess that's my issue. If we want to just call it for what it is, I don't see how that's even close to being capable. And it has nothing to do with my own personal feelings. If I take myself completely out of this, Hyperion is a great champion. I have him duped. I think he's awesome. I love him on my defense. But what I'm telling you is, if you go look at the list, the rankings of champions, where people value them, overall, if you go look at Seaton's list, his most recent one, last I checked, Hyperion was in the demigod list. He wasn't god tier. Voodoo was. How can any YouTuber who follows him push him higher than that, if that makes sense? And that's what I'm saying. And I don't disagree. And Anthony, I think now you can see my argument. My argument on Hyperion has not been just based on what I see. I think Hyperion is a great champion. He's got a lot of uses. But my argument with this whole thing is, you got YouTubers out here who, when you rank champions, you got God tier Voodoo, who just went for 5.9. They're going to turn around and say, oh, this guy who I rank in my list of rankings much lower should be higher. We do. Bulldog, at the end of the day, we do. We do as a community. When we start talking about it, we decide. Because I promise you, if everybody runs around and starts screaming and yelling that some champion is worth 8 million, people are going to feel like they have to get to 8 million. It's the hype. And it's not just for Hyperion. Guys, my don't buy the hype is not just for Hyperion. It's for all these champions. It's for the champions to come. Please, all I'm saying is settle down. Don't hype these things up. Be very, very, very honest and look at it. Look at it statistically speaking. I'm going purely off stats. If you go look at the spreadsheets of what the most known player in the game is ranking him, there's no reason for his cutoff to be that high. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be there, because I can tell you right now, I think it's going to be. You're going to tell me Seaton's opinion means nothing. Hold on. Let me pull up a little bit of stats for you here, because this is where I think you are misinformed. And I agree. It is exactly what somebody is willing to pay for him. But the fact is, people gather that information from other people. The average person does not form their own value on champions. And I wish I was lying on that. I wish I was a complete liar and that I was making that up. But unfortunately, a large chunk of players, I did it myself when I first came back to the game. The very first thing I did was go look up who is the most important champions. Unfortunately, that's what people do. They look to people for answers. That's why we have the internet. But just to give you guys an idea, all right, I got a little bit of a think tank of guys that do some research with me, and we build some ideas. And I agree with you, Josh. I think that's where it's all. We've got to get people in the pool. People have got to understand what it brings to the table. But just back to my, and Bulldog, I don't disagree, but here, let me tell you this. Your argument that Seaton's opinion doesn't matter. If Seaton's opinion didn't matter, he would not have over 60,000 current YouTube subscribers. He also wouldn't have 1.5 million plus monthly views. He also wouldn't have 6,096 followers on Twitter. If his opinion didn't matter, people wouldn't follow him. They wouldn't be watching his channel. He wouldn't have 60,000 subscribers, and he sure as hell wouldn't have 1.5 million views a month. It's not. It's based on a fact that if the community believes that something is worth something, it's no different than in the real world. I don't either. Guys, I'm not saying that everybody does, but what I'm saying though is you got 60,000 people that do. You got a large chunk of people that at least check into what he say. I'm not saying that he calls the cutoff. I'm not saying that YouTubers make the cutoff. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying though is, as a community, as a whole, people need to do a better job, in my opinion, of trying to set. If we're going to talk cutoffs, be realistic with it. You know. And fair enough. I mean, I can't change people's mind. Again, this is just my simple plea. Get in the pool. Pay attention to what you're doing. And I agree, Josh. And at the end of the day, welcome, Grave. You know, at the end of the day, I guess my whole thing is, as a community, we need to work on the value we start presenting champions at. Greg, I think you nailed it on the head, and maybe I'm doing a bad job of portraying that. Value comes from perception. Perception is reality. Perception is reality. I see it all the time in my world. I work in sales. If someone perceives value in something, they buy it. And let me explain. Hyperion is not going to... If Hyperion beats Voodoo's record, it's not because his value necessarily is better. His perceived value is higher right now. But that comes from the community. That comes from all of us. It comes from the YouTubers. It comes from the people in the chat rooms. It comes from everybody talking about it. It takes people throwing numbers up, saying, oh, I'm going to get 7 million. Oh, I'm going to hit 8. That's a perceived value. That's us pushing the number ourselves. Look, you want to go put up 8 million because you feel like that's safe? Go put it up. But I'm just saying, if we're smart about it and don't run around, and Hassan, I do, and you don't run around yapping about it, it saves us all a lot of time and possibly a lot of headaches. I just wish there was a way for the community to get together. Hell, I don't care if the big YouTubers all get together and say, hey, you know what, let's discuss this. Where should we put this at? And then they present it as a team. Absolutely, Bulldog. I really... I really do believe that, Bulldog. I believe, without a doubt, if Seaton was to put a video up of him using Hulkbuster to take down content and was to say, this is the new champ to have, it may not jump to 10 million, but where he would have been at 2 million, he's going up to 5. He's going up to 3, 4. You're going to see a raise. Yes. And I agree. And Bulldog, all I'm saying is that when YouTube champions or YouTube people support champions and give up a higher number, they're raising that perceived value. That's all I'm saying. If you've got people sitting online saying, hey, to get this, you're going to have to be around here, some people are going to go for it. They either go for it or they say that number's way too high and they never try. Oh, I agree. And Bulldog, that's all I'm saying is that I just think YouTubers should be more, hey, not a problem, bud. I just think YouTubers should be more responsible, maybe, with predicting cutoffs. And I get it, maybe they're being responsible to their viewers by putting these high numbers up, but I think they're scaring away a large chunk of the community from even getting in the arena. What they need to be saying is, guys, get in the arena. Get in the arena, get your points, help the community out. Here's the deal. We can look at past champions and see where they're going. I guess my deal is there's no reason to see a huge jump from Hyperion from Doc Voodoo. Because if you look at it from just pure statistics, if you look at it from pure statistic point of things here, when a champion is ranked higher than another, there's no reason for the lower ranked champion to outscore the big one. And that's fine. And I'm not always great at getting my point across. Believe me, I've got a million things running through my head. And like I said, I woke up this morning and when I seen these numbers at these Alliance guys, and this is what just, I think the thing that kind of just set me in the wrong direction this morning was, I get in, I'm in my new Alliance, I look, and a guy posts, oh, I hit my 8 million for Hyperion. I think I should be safe. First off, you think? Like, I think you were safe about 2 million ago. You think you're safe at 8 million, okay. And then another guy jumps in and he goes, well, I'm at 7.2, I guess I better grind a little more. Holy smokies. Like, is this real? You want me like this profile? Yeah, absolutely. All right, he's not a problem, man. And again, guys, and Michael, it's not necessarily. Yeah, and guys, you all know. For as many times as me and Anthony have went head to head, I respect him greatly. I respect everybody's opinion. Now, there might be times that I think you're being a complete idiot about things, but guess what? You think I'm an idiot about things. And that's perfectly fine. You know, I don't mind YouTubers putting up their prediction, but let's all be honest about it. That's their prediction. The problem, and this is I guess kind of where it all starts in Grave Ender. You're kind of nailing it here. That's somebody's prediction, and that's it. Okay, that's their prediction. Don't hold them responsible if you miss. But on the same token, realize that it's simply that. It's simply a prediction. It's a thought. It's a, here's where I think things are going to be. And, be responsible with it. You know, the problem is that a YouTuber will give us prediction. Hey, I predict X. Okay, great. He predicted it. He's right. He's wrong. It doesn't matter. The problem is now you got viewers who get mad if they miss the champion based off that guy's prediction. And I think that's what I'm saying here for the big YouTubers is it sucks. I don't want to be in their shoes. I mean, I do to a degree, don't get me wrong. Yeah, that would be nice. But on the same token, the fear is losing your viewers because you put a prediction up too low, somebody misses him, and now they're upset. They unsubscribe. They say you're full of crap. Don't listen to what he says because you're supposed to be the expert. You know, that's the sad thing of it. People got to take their own responsibility, but at the same time, I think it's the responsibility of YouTubers to give a realistic number better. Correct, East, and that's my point, I guess. They don't want to catch heat for having a wrong prediction. They say a higher number than what they probably really think. And then what happens is the numbers get inflated. And all I'm saying is YouTubers, they set the foundation. You know, they set the foundation of where it starts. You know, if guys would have came in on Hyperion and been very honest, like, and to me, this is where YouTubers should use their sway. I'm not saying they have massive control, but their sway a little bit. Come in and say, look, guys, Voodoo did 5.9. He dropped afterwards. What did he drop to? Here, let's take a quick look because I don't want to tell you guys anything wrong. So that's why I'm on my iPad so I can research here with my phone at the same time. Doc Voodoo went 5.9 then 4.2. 5.9 to 4.2. All right. Yeah, I didn't have to go for Hyperion. I had him duped already. But so going back to my point here, Doc Voodoo went for 5.9 first round, second round 4.2. So just out of curiosity, how can YouTubers in general that help support cutoffs and put their predictions out put Hyperion at a similar cutoff to Doc Voodoo when if you go look at a large chunk of them, if they were to rank their champions, he's not in a god tier, he's the demigod, and he falls in the middle of the pack. Now, I'm not saying that he's not a great champion, and I've never said he's not a great champion. I think he's very good, very great, and he's a great utility. But there's got to be a correlation of points. When I go shopping, I don't buy a 50 count item for the same price that I buy a 24 count. I'm not going to pay the same for a 24 count of the same product that I can get 50 of, if that makes sense. So as a community, I just feel we're getting sold. And we're getting sold on these high cutoffs, and people are going to extreme amounts to try and be safe, and it's hurting our community. It's hurting the average player. The average player doesn't even get in the pool because they feel there's nothing they can do. And Great Vendor, I may not disagree with you. And that's a large chunk is because I'm still horrible with Doc Voodoo. I've yet to master playing with Doc Voodoo. I just got him. Barcelona, come on, stop it. You've been here multiple times. Good seeing you, though, man. But, it's just one of those things where I just feel like if we could set a realistic ground floor, it's always going to grow. Wherever the ground floor starts, it's always going to grow a little bit because you're going to have people that up the ante. If I think cutoff is 5'2", I'm going to be 5 at 5'5". I might do 5'6". I might do 5'7". And you know what? Here's the sad thing. It doesn't matter what cutoffs are predicted. It doesn't matter. What people say or do. The fact is this simple. Somewhere there's going to be a player that fell right below the cutoff. And he's going to be pissed. And the next time he's going to grind more. The fact is there's always going to be that small group of people that just miss the cutoff. Cutoff is 5.85. They're at 5.82. There's always going to be that small group of people that just barely miss the cutoff. And it sucks. And I'm sorry that you miss it. But don't take your frustration out on missing one cutoff on the entire community by then turning around and putting up 8 million. Because at that point, you're doing nothing. The same position you were just in, you're going to put people in that same position. Yeah, the scores are going to go up. And guys, here's the thing. Scores are naturally going to go up. They're naturally going to go up as things continue to evolve. People get more champions, higher prestige, so on and so forth. It's all going to go up. But there's no reason for these leaps that we're seeing in the arena. It just doesn't make sense to me. Nice, Grave. I guess that's my ultimate thing. I just want to look at things from a very statistical. I just want to look at things, I guess, from a very statistical standpoint. If a champion is not ranked, is not figured to be a higher tier, a higher desired champion overall, I don't see why we're predicting arena scores anywhere near the same. So that's what sucks, I guess. So that's the best thing that I can say. And it just sucks. It sucks that we do it to ourselves. Because to me, that's the problem. And that's my big deal, is we're doing it to ourselves. We have a couple players that miss a cutoff, and they go do astronomical things to push the next level. And all we're doing is we're hurting the average player. The average player is never going to get in the pool. So it's all about getting people in the pool, if you ask me. You got to get people in the pool. And one of the best things to do for that, I think, is to be a little more realistic with our cutoffs and to promote getting in the pool rather than predicting cutoffs. Let's start predicting how many people are going to get Hyperion. How many people are going to get in the pool? Get people in the pool. That's what matters. Let's get people doing it. Help the entire community instead of raising it, Sure, I can see your point, Ayo. Here's the thing. Some of that I get. I've yet to chase any of the legend titles or anything like that. Um, to me, though, it's all about the average player. What can the average player do, and what are they going to bring to the table? Average player should at least be getting crystal shards out of this. We need to be getting them educated. We need to be getting them in the pool. So, and Hector, if you go back and look, I've been super realistic on my cutoff. There's no way around it. I personally feel Hyperion should have been about a 5 million champion. I think Hyperion should have went somewhere around 5 million. I think 5.2 to 5.3 is going to be the realistic cutoff, or should have been. And I think 5.5 is where you were safe getting him. Just putting him a tad under Voodoo. Because if you go look at the rankings, if you go look at the overall uses, I think Voodoo is a better champion. And that's where it runs to. Yeah, Hyperion's L2 is nasty. I agree with you there, Grave. I still think Thor puts out more damage if you're good at parrying. So. And by the way, Charlie B, if you're in here, I just realized you and Captain Smash, thanks you guys for promoting me in our Alliance chat. So. Anyway, I'm done with my rant. We now have 20 minutes until the arena cuts off, so hopefully there's enough people out there getting in the pool. If nothing else, hey, you got a little bit of time. Jump in, get in there, push a little bit. And Grey Vendor, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think anytime you have to have people basically going 3 days straight, nonstop pushing to hit 6 million, or burning through a ton of units, that's when you're really pushing the envelope, in my opinion. So. Voodoo has more utility in places he can be placed in the game. I agree. And that's to me why there's a no-brain situation where he should be. Voodoo should have a higher number, and yet we're going to probably see Hyperion break it. And if you go look at a lot of people's sheets, if you go ask them who would they rather have, Voodoo's the answer. So. And AO, I agree with that. The Android compensation has, but here's the thing: I don't understand why would you use it on Hyperion? I mean, in all reality, and again, I'm not trying to knock Hyperion, but guys, there's going to be a featured champion. There's going to be another champ or two. Like, spread it out. Instead of going to 8 million and being like, oh look, I'm flexing my muscle, I got 8 million. Who cares? You wasted 2 million. Let's just say the cutoff ended up coming in at 6 million. And you put up 8. You wasted 2 million points worth of time in rewards. You wasted it. You could have saved it for the next champ. Like, put up 6 million for the next 4 champs and do it easy. Give yourself a break. I just don't get it. Why go to 8? Why are you trying to make it harder on the community as a whole? All you're doing is discouraging people. If I'm a new player and I have no idea what's going on, and all of a sudden I hear that you got to put up 8 million, some guy put up 8 million hoping to get Hyperion, I'm not entering that arena. Screw that. I'm wasting my time. I know I'm not going to get him. I don't understand that, hey, look, there's other rewards. Michael. You know that I can't say that thought didn't cross my mind. Michael put, not to be Alex Jones here, but do you think Kabam is paying them to promote these high scores so players pay more for revives and high scores? I want to believe there's no way possible. But just as easily, it's hard to not see that as a possibility. I mean, I think it has to cross your mind. And I know that's going to probably hurt some people's feelings, and maybe I'm going to get some hate mail and hate messages later, but it does have to cross your mind. It has to, because people are paying. I mean, I watched a couple guys last night, and they're burning through units left and right to push up points. I did it myself not too long ago. The difference was I didn't go back and buy any units. But for a new guy, oh man, I got to get to 7 million. I'm at 6. Hey, here we go. Yeah, Grave. I don't disagree. It's a head scratcher. No, and it would be smart business for Kabam. It'd be smart business for Seaton or any major YouTuber. And I'm not trying to call Seaton out here, and Lord knows that's not my plan here. But it would be good business. It'd be good business on all parties. Doesn't mean I think it's right, and I wish the community as a whole would come together and find a way to pay a little more attention to one another. So, hey, if nothing else, maybe my stream will grow and I can help deflate some of the cutoffs. Who knows? We'll see. So, all right, with that being said, let's see. Oh, wow, we're down to 15 minutes till the arena ends. Where am I at in the Punisher one? Can I realistically get some more milestones? What's up, Jar? How's it going? And again, guys, if anybody new is here, do me a favor. Go hit the like button, hit subscribe. Always welcome to come in here and hang out, guys. So, you know what? I'm afraid I'll end up losing my streak here. 200,000. You know what? I'm not even going to mess with it. There's not enough time, I don't think, and I don't really have enough 5 stars to go for it, so. What's up, Jason? Hey, somebody's got to do it. Might as well be me, I guess. But the best part about it is if you don't like it, you don't have to hang out here either, so it is what it is. Just telling my point of view. I think it's ridiculous where the cutoffs have went to, but hey, if you enjoy high cutoffs, have at it, brother. What's up, Jada? How's it going? I didn't get... Oh, excuse me. And again, guys, if any of you guys are new, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Come in, hang out anytime you want. Again, I enjoy discussion. I enjoy people putting their thoughts and their opinions up. Just be mindful of each other is all I ask. It's always good to disagree. Just make sure you do it in a polite manner and respectful manner, I guess I should say. So, finish this here proving ground up. Oh, that was bogus. Could have swore I hit mine before he did. Oh well. He's toast now. Fair enough, Jason. Didn't know if what was going on, but sure. No, I just think basic champions, there's no reason for basic champions to be approaching the 6 million mark. I mean, here, and again, I hate not playing, making guys sit here and watch a loading screen or something stupid like that, but let me go check one thing. To give you an idea, a 4-star basic champion has just broke, or could be breaking, and here, Voodoo alone at 5.9 million surpassed the 4-star featured of Old Man Logan, Iron Fist, okay, fair enough, Groot, let's see here, Rocket Raccoon, Drax, Gamora, Star-Lord. No, I'm sorry. Star-Lord went for 8 and 9. So I'm curious to see. I mean, if Hyperion beats Voodoo's record, you're now pushing the fact that, well, I mean, here, let's say the cutoff for Hyperion goes to the 6. Um, let's say it goes up to 6. Carnage went for 10-2 in the second round. Yondu went for 7-9 second round. King Groot 6-7. I mean, we're basically reaching the point where some of the basic champions are starting to reach what the featured champions were. We've got to get more people in the arena. We all should be making sure our alliance guys know. And the problem is a large chunk of this is having having a finger, a thumb, stirring the new guys up and saying, hey, get in. Correct, Jason. Voodoo first round, 5.9. I was just looking at the 4-star featured and seeing just how many people he beat, and if Hyperion beats him, just how close it puts a 4-star basic at touching the same level as a 4-star featured champion. To me, that's just getting crazy. No, I agree, Jar, and I guess that's kind of what I'm saying, I guess. To me, it just doesn't make sense, guys. As a community, we need to do a better job of setting, and I don't want to say setting realistic, but trying to working on lowering these cutoffs. I mean, and I guess people can say I'm wrong, but I highly feel some of the high level YouTubers have a direct influence on the game. They have a direct impact. Now, I'm not saying they determine it, and I'm not saying that it sets it, but when you start talking and you reach out to thousands of players, tens of thousands, maybe more, all of a sudden, what you're saying is going to trickle down. And it doesn't have to come from you. You know, here's the thing. It's kind of like that old telephone game. You know, oh, I say 5 million. Well, now that guy goes around and says, oh, he said 5, but I'm going to do 5.2. Well, now the next guy says, oh, 5.2, I better do 5.3. And it just constantly just grows. It's a ladder, you know. Oh, the grind's horrible. And I think the one thing we can all agree on is what we're seeing, especially with these second-round drop-offs, is that people are putting all their time and effort into one round. And then afterwards, poof, they're done. They're mentally exhausted. Their eyes, they're dry. They can't even see. They can't blink anymore. Their fingerprints are burnt off onto their laptop or their phones or iPads. Whatever they're playing on, it's got their fingerprint like burnt off from swiping and from swiping and tapping. You know, they're done. They can't do the next one. No, the highest cutoff for a featured Jason was actually many others. Uh, Dr. Voodoo was a basic champion. Doc Voodoo was not a featured champion. He's basic in the arena. And I think what we're seeing on that big difference there, Jason, that you're talking about, comes solely from people not being able to do it. I mean, you're looking at 6 days of non-stop arena grinding. And Jar, I guess that's kind of the approach I'm looking for people to take. I mean, at some point you have to say, screw it. Yeah, you said featured a while ago, so... And my point behind it, I guess, Jason, is while you're pointing that, look here, Voodoo at 5'9", here's some of your featured champions. Gamora went for 5'8", in her first round. Drax went for 5-5. King Groot went for 6-7 in his second round. Rocket went for 5-1 in his first round. And these were the featured champs. Okay. Yandu, who a lot of people were looking for, second round, 7-9. Iron Fist, I really don't consider him a featured champion, but if you want to look at it that way, he did 4-4 and 5-5. Groot, 4-7, 5-4. Old Man Logan did 4-8 and 5-7. So I guess my point behind it is people are grinding a higher score for the basic champion than some of the featured champions. Now, granted, let's all be honest, Doc Voodoo is a much more desirable champion than, say, Old Man Logan. But yeah, Carnage went 15 mil, and then let's take a look. He dropped to 10-2. You want to look at a crazy one? Look at Nebula. Round 1, 14-4. Second round, she went up to 15. That's nasty. Whew. Stupid evade. Uh-oh. There we go. And Grave, I agree with you. To some degrees, it's just a matter of what you're willing to do for subscribers. I'm just not that way. Excuse me, jeez. I'm going to tell people exactly what I think, how I feel, and unfortunately, it's not always a very popular thing. So, but the difference is I more than welcome the disagreement. I welcome somebody to come in and say, "No way, this is what it is, and here's why." Jada, and that's here, and see, this is the thing that I'm talking about. That's exactly the problem right now. Is you have players that don't even attempt to grind, and in doing so, they don't get in the pool. They're not hitting the. They're not making it. They're not improving the situation for people. Instead, it's just making it more difficult. You know, everybody needs to get in the pool. You don't think you can get the hero? Great. Do the community a favor. Get in the pool. Put up what's needed to just get in the pool at least. Get in the pool and make things better for the community. Those couple of guys that could have maybe have got him had you been in the pool, now they missed the cutoff. Oh, I'm doing a great job of blocking with my face this morning. What the fuck? No, that sucked donkey balls. That's irritating. For whatever reason, it had auto fight on. Auto fight button wasn't on. I'm over here mashing my screen like, why are you not doing what I say? Well, that wasn't ideal. All right, let's try this again. That was embarrassing. Oh well. So yeah, guys, listen. If you're new here, do me a favor. Please hit the subscribe button. Again, I do encourage everybody to come in, hang out. That's what makes the game fun. Let's see if I can finally take care of some business here. And I promise I'm not always a bad player. There we go. Hate playing on the iPad, but it works. So. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm getting ready to head out, but I just wanted to come in, have a little bit of a time ahead of time. So, you guys, at least get into the pool, get in there, help the community out. If nothing else, I hope everybody leaves here telling all their Alliance members and everything else. Jada, I work literally my work schedule on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday grind, or the Monday, Tuesday group goes. Monday, I'm at work 8:30 in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night. Tuesday, I'm there from 8:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. So I feel you. I get it. I don't have time to grind 6 million either. I've done it a couple times. But there's just no sense in making it harder. If nothing else, I'm always going to be in the pool. Because if nothing else, I help someone else get the champion. So if you can't get it, great. I understand. It's frustrating. But get the rewards. Get the rewards. And help someone else get the champ. Help lower that cutoff. Be a team player. So, guys, I'm out of here. It is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Hope everyone has a good one. Again, I will be back on later today. Going to be cracking crystals, so come in, check it out. I got quite a few crystals to crack. Oops, wrong button. Give you a quick overview of what I'm looking at. You know, nothing special here on that page. Some map 5 and some stuff. Hopefully I can get lucky. But we're going to be sitting on what, 17? Yeah, 17. You're looking at 17 premium heroes, 3 3-stars, and closing in on a second 4-star. So maybe I can get lucky by the end of the day and hit that second 4-star. So, all right, guys, everybody, take care. Hit that subscribe button. I'm pushing to 200, and if I get there, just let's keep it rolling. All right, guys. Nicole, good seeing you. You catch me on my way out, so makes me sad. All right, guys. Again, everyone take it easy. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, send a friend, a family member, whoever you got, send them my way. I'd greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you all so very much. Take care.